All right, hello, welcome guys to the fifth episode of the Go In or Out podcast. The podcast that every 2 weeks posts an episode to discuss all topics in our society. Oh my god! Today I'm joined by my good friends, our soundman Tom,
Yo, what's up?
and also our fancy Lord Jamie.
How you doing?
And today, guys, is a very special episode because today, guys, we have our very first guest on the podcast. So I would like to welcome Simon here for our fifth episode of the Go In or podcast. Simon, how you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
Yes, I'm doing actually really good. So today we wanted to talk about neurodiversity. You have to think about autism, ADHD, ADD, and dyslexia. We're gonna clear up some things, and we're gonna talk about this topic and kind of inform more people. Is that right, guys?
That's the plan.
Yes. We'll see what happens. I hope everyone gets the message.
Yes. So first of all,
message.
Get the message. Come on.
There we go. The ice's been broken. There we go. Come on.
All right.
We've started.
So,
it's official.
So for before we start, I would like to let Simon introduce ourselves. So Simon, how do you know us, my friend?
Well, I know you guys from my high school, or at least that's what the Americans would call the type of school that I went to with you guys. Mainly through school activities like acting. We had a school play, and I think I met you there, our lovely host.
Yeah, we met there. You played the one musical I played in Pirates. The fun thing is
Pirate one.
Everyone here knows each other from theater, so that's the funny thing about it. Like
that must explain why we're so theatrical. But yeah, it does. It does.
Oh my God.
It's. I mean. Oh no! Have I derailed? I'm sorry.
No. Keep going.
You just said some truth.
All right. Well, we know each other from theater. That's correct. But I do have to say there are we mostly we met through that theater project, but we also stayed in touch by basically kind of knowing the same people and knowing the same friends because we went to the same parties. And I, for example, saw Tom every now and again on one of those parties. And I do feel ashamed to say that I've never actually invited him to a party myself, but he is someone I like seeing at parties. He is someone I like seeing at parties, and I love meeting him. I love talking with this guy. So that goes for all of you. So that's why I'm here.
Nice.
It's
Tom.
great to have you here. That's
yeah,
the
no,
thing.
it's very nice. You wanted to come to the podcast.
The very
because-
first guest we had.
Yes, we were looking for a guest, and every time we found someone, they didn't have the audio equipment, and your audio equipment is pretty fine for having to make an episode. Actually,
No,
right, Tom?
it works as a guest.
It works as a but the thing is, I don't want to hype up the audio quality
shade.
or. I mean, honestly, I mean, that shade is deserved because this is like a PS4 headset that I bought at an electronics store, and I went to the counter and I asked, "Yo, I've got these PS4 headphones and these Xbox headphones. Like, what's the difference? Because they were both like basically in the same box, only the PS4 one was blue and the Xbox one was green." And I asked, and the guy behind the counter just said, "Yeah, well, the Xbox one is 22 euros and the PS4 one is 20. That's literally the only difference." So I went, okay, fine. I'll take the PS4 one then.
At least he was honest.
I
He was
appreciate
honest
the
guy.
honesty. I was like, oh, well, thank you. At least you're honest about this. You don't want to tell me that this Xbox One has some special software. No, it's just the same thing. I don't see any difference. What the hell?
All right. So before we go off topic talking about headphones, let's go to our
Okay, don't want to derail.
let's go to our main topic, neurodiversity. So I invited Simon because Simon, why don't you tell yourself? Why should I tell you? Like Simon, tell us something about neurodiversity.
Well, I am not an expert, but the main reason why I'm here, at least as far as I know, unless you have any special reason that you brought up right now, unless this is all just a ruse. I was invited here as a guest because I have diagnosed ADD, which is a difficult thing to explain in a single sentence. But in a single sentence, it means I have a lot of trouble paying attention and have very little focus throughout the day. But there are times where it's more of a superpower and not a disorder, where I really do focus on something so well that it actually becomes my the only thing I do for an hour. And when that hour ends, I look at what I've done and I realize, wow, I've really accomplished something here. So I'm basically here as the guy who has practical experience with these things.
Yes, and it's very brave that you actually come on the show and would like to talk about it, because it could be very confronting sometimes to talk about something about yourself. Am I right?
Yes, it is, because most of the time, especially as you go through high school or puberty together, well, I say together because I know you guys since that time.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to talk about it honestly, because as you go through puberty, you are kind of finding your own group. You're finding your place in groups, or at least defining who you are, and these are things that aren't really easy to talk about, especially if you're going through all the emotions that you're going through when you're still figuring all that out. So in short, it's difficult, but as you grow older, you kind of learn to adapt and learn how to handle situations where you're explaining how you as a person function.
Yeah,
That's really well said, man.
That's
That's
actually really well said.
A really good,
I practiced that
Nice,
thoroughly.
Simon.
I practiced that
a really
thoroughly.
good summary.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, mate.
And I just
Alright,
found
that
out
was the episode,
literally
That was-
5 minutes before we started. But Tom, tell me about you.
Oh no.
Well, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. And oh wait,
You've kind of cut out there. I'm
no,
not sure.
I'm not cutting out on the podcast. It's just for you guys.
Ah,
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
right.
But yeah, I've been diagnosed with ADHD, and it's not that big of a thing for me, to be honest. Like,
Which
I
is
don't,
good,
I don't,
think.
I don't feel like I live a different life than other people, to be honest. Really,
That's actually
especially
really-
nowadays.
That's a good thing,
Yeah.
actually.
That's
Right.
a good thing.
All right, so our first question, I would like the both of you to answer the question, but first we'll go to Simon because he's our guest, and I would really like to let Simon shine this week.
Definitely.
So,
Alright.
how did ADD affect your life in any sense? Because when actually did you were diagnosed with it?
I was diagnosed at the age of 16.
16, all right.
Got diagnosed as well. Kind of funny. The funny thing is, I got diagnosed because I myself was speaking to a psychologist at that time. That makes it sound, difficult, or that it was something big, but it really was more of a psychologist that helps teenagers get through puberty, and it really wasn't anything more than that. But while I was there, I was suggesting to her that I maybe should get tested for things like ADD or autism, because that could maybe explain my difficulties in puberty in high school. And well, we did the test, and as it turns out, I did or do have ADD.
And how did
So-
it affect it after? How did like your surroundings or you personally affected when you were diagnosed? Because at an age of 16, I think a lot of things are already going through your head. Because if I'm looking myself at the age of 16, a lot of things are going back. I think Jamie can also, and Tom, like when you're 16, a lot of things go through your head. So I can only imagine like how it could feel. Like what effect did it have?
I think it's what my experience with it are kind of is really a really specific experience, because I think I got diagnosed at exactly the right time to know what it is, and how to sort of learn how to deal with it in that sense. I was aware enough of my own actions to actually listened to the advice that I was given and implemented in my own life. But at the same time, I was also, well, young enough to be able to adapt to this whole new sense of identity. I suddenly had a label I could put on myself, which wasn't even a negative one. It's more of a thing that I now had to describe whatever difficulties or superpowers, if you will, I have.
Yeah. And how did your surroundings react to it? Because
Yeah, like did they help you in certain stuff, or were they negative, positive in some ways?
Well, first of all, my parents were very supportive. They were not really all that much surprised. Honestly, they already had some idea in their head that, well, he's having so much trouble in puberty in high school. There's no way there is no neurodiversity there, right? So, but because there were no experts, they didn't have the capability to diagnose me. So they were very supportive. But my friends were kind of, that's a difficult one, because you always go for certain troubles in your friends group as you go on, and that's not particularly my problem or something that's very specific to me. I think everyone has that. But I think when I had these troubles around the time I got diagnosed, it was really kind of easy for me to just lob in that diagnosis in the conversation as a sort of excuse for my behavior, which, as I look back at it now, really wasn't the wisest move every time, but I still did it, and that made a sort of eerie tension grow between some of my friends, as they kind of felt like I was using it as an excuse. Later, that completely got removed, because after a while they realized I was only kind of defending myself against the comments that really weren't so hurtful after all. But it was a tricky thing to manage, to say something like to say in a respectful manner that I am just different. It's really difficult to say that, but in the end, I think I pulled that through.
I don't know how they react to it, because I find your story very interesting. That's why I'm so silent and listening to it, because I never heard how you say more personal the way you think or your personal life than we already had, and that's not really a much, and it doesn't matter. But I really enjoy the fact that I can really can hear how you're how it all processed with you, how the all this thing happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the words to describe it, because I already think it's very brave what you're already telling us. So let's go to Tom. Tom, let's talk about you for a bit.
All right. Well, I was diagnosed, I think, when I was like 6, something like that. So quite a bit younger than what Simon was. I think that made a bit of a difference too, because I grew up knowing that I had it, or at least I don't know. I went through training and stuff like that, and I got medication already, but I don't use that anymore. That's something which isn't necessary for me, and I think I've stopped now for around 2 years or something like that.
Would you say they have more of a negative effect now, if you would start using them again?
Not necessarily, but what it is the first time you take one of those pills, you really notice it, especially in the rebound, like after it's like almost done finishing. You are literally spacing. Like it's not in like you're seeing stuff, but you can just sit there and just stare at things and just be like
high as a kite,
entertained and stuff like
just
that.
oh no, not even entertained, but just be gone, like a bit, like something like that. I used medication once, and that was really weird. That I in the rebound, I think that was, I would get the feeling that I talk faster than I was talking. If that makes any sense.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I can completely emphasize with this, because I've exactly had that feeling.
Yeah, you do
before.
recognize it.
Yeah, I do recognize it. I mean, everyone's reactions to the medications are kind of personal and different. They can vary between people, but this is something I do feel empathy with, because I had that too. As if the world, as if you and the world around you are just working at different speeds.
Yeah, no, but seriously, I would literally talk, and I'd feel like the words would come out slower, but I could keep running like ahead in my head. It was really weird.
Very
and
strange.
Yeah.
That's it. And I went through like 4 or 5 different types of pills till I found the medicine that or the medication that worked. But I stopped even then because I only use it to focus, because I'm not like I'm diagnosed with ADHD, which is basically ADD. So the problems with concentrating and the problems with focus and stuff like that. Plus also a part of hyperactivity.
Yeah.
Which the hyperactivity part never really bothered me, to be honest. Okay, I sit on the chair and I shake my leg and stuff like that, you know. And yes, I'm hyper sometimes, but at least nowadays, it was more a problem when I was like under the age of 10, something like that. Because then in primary school, the teachers are very focused on you acting normal. And you have to act normal. And that's like really... that's something that's built into Dutch culture too, because we say "doe normaal," which basically means act normal.
Yeah,
and it's something that can be quite tough when you're young.
Because
but I find it very strange, because people think what they think it's normal. We have a normal standard, but that's not how it works, because we're all individuals, so we all work different if we just don't hurt each other, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like as becoming a teacher, like a gym teacher, I would be very annoyed when teachers who are now teaching kids say this kind of stuff to kids, that I feel like, oh, that's not how it's all about, right? It's about how you grow as an individual, and saying act normal is not the way to do it. You can I rather have you talk to someone and explain why sometimes being hyper is distracting for other kids than saying act normal. Like, what is acting normal, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
There can be so many things.
And the thing is, it's not something, if you, at least when I was a kid, it was very much if I tried acting normal. Let's say I tried acting normal, and which means sitting still and everything. That would just build up and would come out like 10 times more later in the day. So it wouldn't really help. And then you have a teacher that's mad at you. And so I basically
I get
what comes
so
with
annoyed
it is
hearing that. Jesus.
you have a lot of problems with teachers and stuff like that. That's basically a one, for me at least, it was a one-on-one relationship.
God.
But the thing is, for me, that really changed at high school or middle school or whatever. Like there, I kind of found my place, and I got a different teacher that's especially important, because then you get a different teacher every hour or every class, which is really helpful, since then you could have pissed off one teacher and you could have had another one, and you had walking time in between. No, but seriously, that just helps. And I didn't have that many problems with teachers. Like I think I pissed off a teacher once or twice on high school, and that's like in 5 years. So I think that's quite
those are
normal.
good statistics, mate. Those are really good statistics.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people who
I
piss
used
off
to have a
two teachers
kid
every
with
hour.
ADHD, and I always, when he was kind of woggling or wiggling, I would say, "Oh, can you get me a coffee from the teacher's room?" And he just would grab it for me, and then he would be like, for the next hour, he would be just sitting still and just enjoying himself.
Yeah,
like what I used to do. Oh, can you get me a coffee, please? Or would you get me that book on the library? And he would just say, "Oh, sure, let's go." And then you just walked it off, and then 5 or 10 minutes later, he came back like, "I don't care if he's taking longer."
Sometimes that helps, and sometimes the energy doesn't.
And then
he
would
away,
just sit still, and just go back to his work, and nothing like happened.
No, and that's the thing. At least the hyperactivity problems basically stopped when I was in high school. But the focus and the trying to concentrate on stuff still wasn't there. Like there was no concentration. And I sometimes wonder if that's the ADHD or just not being interested in stuff. And then, because if I'm not, that's something which people like, which they told me like is quite common for people with ADHD, is that stuff you like, that goes really well. You can focus really well on stuff like that. But if you don't like it, there's not gonna be any focus, and that's basically what I always had.
I get that.
But
yeah,
the thing is, even then I could control that all right. Like I'd have trouble learning for tests and stuff like that, since then you have to just focus on that. But nowadays, that's why I don't use the medication anymore, because it kind of fucks with your personality. Sorry for my language. I don't know if I.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
allowed.
all personal,
so you can go on YouTube, mate. That's
we're gonna get demonetized. Like fuck them.
Like you were ever monetized. Come on.
Fuck.
Shit.
Oh shit.
Wait, we can't. Oh no.
No.
Fuck.
No.
God damn it.
All right.
All right. Back to topic.
Yeah. I
Back to the
wanna
topic.
ask, like, have you guys like? I can only see your experiences from the outside, from an outside perspective. But has someone's demeanor or their way of talking towards you ever changed when you told them you had ADD or ADHD? Did they approach you differently from before you let them know?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think it's Tom's story is going to be best for this one, because I basically have no story to answer this with. It's kind of a yes.
How do you
no.
feel about people changing their behavior if you say
some
I have
people
ADHD?
change, but like your good friends, they don't change. But that's why I don't openly go around, which I just did. Fuck. I don't openly go around telling people.
You just did, man.
Oh no.
Yeah, normally I don't do that because it's not important. I am the person that I am, and what the fuck does that have to do? Like, okay, yeah, I have ADHD, so what? Does that make me a different person all of a sudden? No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So normally I don't go openly around telling people, and not because I'm ashamed of it, but just because I don't feel it's something useful for them to know. And negative things is. Like if after you've said it, you can have people that say, name a pilletje, which basically means take a pill, and stuff like that, and
just basically like there's a cure for it. Go take it.
Just people swearing with you're autistic or something, or take a pill when you have, in your case, ADHD. How do you feel about that, or are you dyslexic? Like, how do you feel people using those terms as swear words? Because I'm guilty of it. I used to do it sometimes. I don't do it anymore because I used to work with more severe cases of kids with autism in gym class when I was going for my internships. Yeah. So I used to appreciate the people, and then I kind of stopped doing it because I felt like that's extremely wrong to do. Is why would I do it? So I kind of had that change. But how do you guys feel about people using those words as swear words?
Depends. I mean,
it depends.
If they use it directly, then sure, I might get offended if they have an actual point towards me. I mean, if they're just saying it to make me mad, then most of the time I'll just ignore it, because he could have said anything. Then why would I get mad over the word autistic or autism? But at the same time, I wouldn't really, if someone I know closely said it to me as an insult, and I would see that person is serious, or at least has some problem with the behavior that I have shown, which they are critiquing by calling me autistic or whatever, then yes, I might take it more seriously. But I would only take it seriously in the sense, wow, this is something we need to talk about after you've calmed down. It's not something I'm going to take seriously now, because obviously you're heated. We're literally in the heat of the moment. Why would I take it seriously now?
Yeah,
that's a
for
good
me it's kind of
strategy,
opposite.
actually.
Yeah,
I feel like, because if someone like just jokingly says it, then I'm fine with it. Like, yeah, okay, all right. But if people say it like that, like, yo, take a pill. When they're actually serious, I'm like, yo, like, it's hard. Sometimes for me, it's really hard to actually, well, not anymore, but it was sometimes really hard to actually be relaxed and just chill. And then if someone says to you, yo, go take a pill, then it's just not, it's not nice. Like, it's like, oh, all right.
Like, it's very personal.
I'm this way, because it becomes more a thing like, okay, I'm actually sorry that this is this way, but I can't stop.
I feel like it sounds like you're rejecting someone for how they are.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like rejection.
Yeah. It feels like they're just saying, yes, this might be some part of you, but you can solve it with just this one trick. Totally. And my response to that is in my head always, if it really were that simple, I would have done it already.
Yeah, talking about that, a thing that's often said to people that are autistic, ADD, HRD, or, even dyslexic and stuff like this. Wow.
Such an annoying word, right?
You can hear who's dyslexic.
Is that sometimes it says, yo, it's just in your head, it isn't real, or why are you this way? It's just something in your brain. You don't have to be this way. I don't believe that's ever said to you. I might be mistaken. Maybe one of you has an experience that way, that someone says like, why are you acting this way? It's just in your head, or it's not real, you're just making it up.
Well, if someone said that to me, fucking punch him. No, I wouldn't, but I'd be mad. But
you'd be justified. You'd be justified, man.
No, not punching, but it works the opposite way too. Because like, if someone says, "Yo, relax, dude," then I'd start trying to relax, and I think that's an important thing. Like, because it can work the opposite way too. That you actually have people that are dyslexic or have ADHD that say, "Yo, I have ADHD, so I can be hyper," and I get that, but there's a difference in people not trying, and there's some people that I met on high school who were like, I'm dyslexic, so if you write it, then that'd be better, and that's something that is, even if you're dyslexic, it's also something which you can still develop in it, and you can still get better. Yeah, no, it's not that you're not gonna have dyslexia, and you're gonna make there are gonna be mistakes in there, and that's fine. That's what you can ask your friends then for, but it shouldn't be an excuse like, I'm not gonna do that because I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
You can still develop. You can still learn.
Yeah. And I think that's an important thing also for the people. Like, you may feel stuck in it for everyone with a disability like that. You may, or with ADHD or whatever disability you may sometimes feel like it's not going to improve, but it will. Like, everything can improve if you just put your mind to it, if you practice, if you make sure like that there is something you're working towards, and it's not going to be instant. It's going to take a while. For me to not use pills anymore, it took 10 years at least.
Yeah.
Because I stopped like just before I was 16. So, yeah.
And Simon, what would you like to give the people who are also going through maybe the same type of experience you're going through, hearing that they have some kind of neurodiversity disorder? What would your message be to those people?
I think the message I would give to those people who are listening to this, or who are hearing this, or in any way, shape, or form are listening to my voice right now, my point is that these things that you are having trouble with are, in a sense, inherently your difficulties. That doesn't make them unsolvable. That just makes them things that you can solve. But hear me out. The problem that most people have with these issues is that they are issues that only they are struggling with. It can feel like you're stuck in a hole that nobody else is in, as if you're the only one who dug the trench which you're now stuck in, which isn't really true. You were born in that trench. It might be something you have trouble with just because you have some sort of genetic, well, let's say genetic bad luck that you have a disorder of this kind. But that does also mean that if you are the only one who's having trouble with these things, you are also the one who is the bridge between being stuck in that ditch and getting out there and solving the problems that you have. You might not solve them entirely, you might not grow over the things you struggle with now, but they will get better. And the key to solving these problems, or at least partially, is trying, talking to people, and especially listening to other people's advice and determining for yourself whether that advice is sincere or not, because there's a clear difference, as we've just shown, with people saying, yo, take a chill pill, and someone saying, hey, let's talk about it. What are your issues?
Yeah.
Well said.
Thanks, mate.
Tom and Simon, I really want to thank you for making this episode an amazing episode, in my opinion. I feel like we had a great story of both of you, and I felt like I got to know you guys better, and also I felt like
I think I'm quite interested. Like, I know you're thinking, sorry, I should let you finish. This is you know what, this is something which could be the idea.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just ask the question, man.
Continue,
Say
Ruben.
something.
You first. Sorry.
I just really want to thank you guys to be so openly to tell your story, because I feel like in countries where I've traveled to, like in Canada or some others, there isn't this widespread discussion, or it's just growing now. And I felt like it's really important that people like you guys and like us, like Jamie and I, like we all are the same still, talk about this and make things more that the perspective of other people's that we get to know those. And I think it's really important, and I feel like that it's an amazing step we all took, and I feel like an amazing step you guys took for us. So I really want to thank you guys for that. Like honestly.
Oh, thank you very much.
No problem, mate. No problem. Anytime. Just give me a ring.
No.
Tom, you were about to say
your question, your dying question.
I was quite interested in what you guys' experience are, because I think because there are so many types of disorders that I think literally everyone can get tested and can get a positive for at least one of them. I'm just curious if you guys have ever had like maybe some hints towards something or whatever that you've struggled with.
Oh, myself.
Yeah.
Oh, I when I was in I don't know if it's elementary or prime. I don't know how you guys call it, but I was tested for dyslexia 3 times.
Yeah.
Don't have it. And I don't know, they couldn't believe I didn't have it. So I feel like if there's something I feel like I struggle with is maybe my concentration. Also, I sometimes don't have a really concentrated concentration span. And also I sometimes problem with like self-esteem or my emotions. So I feel like if there's something struggling, are just those specific things I sometimes struggle with. But through the course of getting older, it got way better. And doing this podcast makes me a lot more confident, and makes me also my mind put to rest, because I can talk about all these different kinds of things that are going through my head. And it's not like my problem, but for some reason, other people's problems, I will take them on, and I will just feel those problems. Like, even though I'm sitting in front of you, and someone is sad, I feel all those emotions going through me, and it's so agonizing sometimes, because I don't sometimes want to feel emotions from others. So, to be doing a podcast where we can talk about all these kinds of stuff, even though it's not always extremely good. Like, like our content is all right. It's okay. It's funny. We have a lot of fun, and we talk about some good topics, and we are saying some good stuff. So I feel like that's extremely good. And to doing this, it makes my mind sometimes go to rest. So that's something that this podcast actually helping me out a lot.
All right. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
that's good to hear, actually.
It's getting emotional, guys.
Yeah. The tear ducts are welling up. I mean, I sorry to interrupt. I mean, Jamie, you can tell your story, of course, but I think it's almost ironic, but in a good sense, that the one episode where we're talking about something where we want to actually, I'm really, I'm gonna regret saying this, but I'm gonna regret using the slogan of 13 Reasons Why, but we want to start a conversation on this. And as we've no, I'm not making a parallel here. Please let me explain what I'm about to say.
Continue.
My point is, as we're making a podcast where we want to start a conversation, at the end, where we've basically done the outro already, we are doing exactly that, having a conversation about these things in a way that we really didn't anticipate it.
No.
I mean, we didn't plan on, or at least I didn't plan on getting to know our hosts this way, or in this sense. Yeah. So it goes to show it's really good to just sometimes, you might feel like it's a big step, but in the end, you told your story, and I'm sorry to diminish it in a way, and not in a sense that I don't think the story is important, but more in the sense it didn't take that long for you to answer, even though it is kind of a deep answer. So that just goes to show maybe people think this is kind of a bigger issue than it really is. No. So in that sense, right. I mean, if you have anything else to say, Jamie, you can tell your story.
Well, yeah. Listening to you guys all talking about your experiences, like most of my friends did have some kind of neurodiversity. Like a friend in primary school at dyscalculia. He wasn't really good at simple maths and stuff like that. He had really trouble with numbers and stuff. And now Tom, we've been friends since like first class, and Simon, we've also known each other for like 3 years now, and it's different because you don't hear these perspectives, these views on a regular basis if you don't ask for them. It's not like, hey Simon, how do you feel about people knowing you have ADD, and how do they treat you differently? It's not something you ask on the daily basis, and it's opening, it's new, it's fresh to hear this thing. It helps me think with you, and I learned something.
All right.
I think Ruben can say the same.
I feel like it's just gratitude we have.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm quite glad about that, because for me, this whole subject, it just feels like everyone knows that. Because it's all been so clear for me already. Like
it's something you know already, so you kind of extrapolate that knowledge to everyone around you. You kind of
and you
think that they know the same
people,
thing. You expect, as you use the term ADD, autism, or whatever term you use, that everyone knows what you mean, but everyone has different interpretations of that, and that might lead to some, how do I say, discomforting conclusions that they might not see the world the same way as you do.
A lot of the time, that is the way.
Yeah, that is the way. You can learn how to. Well, how do you say this? I think you said it as well, Jamie. It may be something. It may be something that you have to go through with, but it's important to realize that once you have a situation where you realize, oh shit, my friends or someone I know or someone I am talking to right now doesn't think the same way about this subject as I do, or has a different view on the world, especially on the topic of neurodiversity. You can learn to talk with them rather than towards them or about them, especially if the subject is neurodiversity or neurodiverse people, because they are just people. I am a human. Hello, I went to the same high school as other people who were in high school. Sorry, my inner Eric Cartman was coming out there. But yeah, boy. But my point is, I'm just as human as anyone else. I'm just talk to me. We'll figure it out, man. And if we don't, well. Still, fair play. We'll live on the same planet. Still, it's not like we need to feel the same way about things. We can still talk about it. That's the most important part.
So, Tom, you actually wanted this topic. So why wouldn't you talk about Christmas holidays?
Wait, what?
You wanted, you wanted to talk about it. So I'm just gonna because you want to talk about.
Well,
no, I feel like
isn't it?
Yeah. What are your guys' plans?
I already got the tree today. I got my Christmas tree set up. So
really today? I set it up what 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Maybe that was a bit early.
For people listening, it's the 6th of December.
Sinterklaas yesterday.
Yeah, we were recording this on the 6th of December. So I mean, I'm not sure if anyone is listening this from overseas or.
There are people listening from overseas.
Hey, well, welcome.
We have our own version of Santa Claus, and
it's culturally speaking, it is the same.
It's the original.
It's kind of the OG. To say that Santa Claus is derived from Sinterklaas is kind of like saying the same thing backwards, because both can be true. We just don't know specifically which one came first. But basically, they're separate holidays here.
I thought Sinterklaas came first.
I thought, yeah.
Yes, and I thought that first, but then I found some other source saying otherwise. I'm not sure now.
But that makes no sense, because Sinterklaas is based on like the real person, Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, on Saint Nicholas indeed, and Santa Claus is just.
I don't really do anything anymore with it. I used to when I was. But I don't really do anything.
Yeah,
you don't buy presents for each other.
No, we do that at Christmas.
Yeah,
I know. We never did that. Christmas was never for. Oh shit!
Oh damn! There goes your host.
He's back.
He's back. Never mind.
Technical difficulties.
I just randomly got kicked out.
Okay, but we're talking about. No, I do still like it has been criticized a bit lately, but I feel like the changes they've made have pretty much.
Soft.
I think they are extremely important, the changes. Shall we just talk about Christmas holidays?
Yeah.
So
what are you guys gonna do for Christmas?
Right.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do? Any plans with the family?
Well, that's the thing. I have especially no plans with the family because, as is family tradition with me, I almost instinctively plan my holidays the day before they begin. So I really have no plans yet, but at the same time, I hope there's room for it anyway because of the whole.
Yeah, I hope we can do something with Christmas.
Yeah, I really do.
Every year I used to go to with friends of my family to the new blockbuster movie every year. So we used to go to The Hobbit, all the Harry Potter movies, the last Star Wars trilogy that sucked.
Here we go.
And, let's keep this for another episode because this is a whole another discussion on itself.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
So we used to do that, and then we just gonna stuff ourselves with food and then just play games with each other. So that's what we used to do, and I really enjoy it because we did it for about 10 years now already. I don't know, so many movies I saw with those guys. I don't kind of remember the exact number, but like. That's just something I would really miss not doing, and I just understand why we're not able to, but I would be very disappointed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I'm also quite sad because like normally it would be like the only time of year the whole family would get together for us. So like we'd have cousins and then first Christmas Day would be with my mom's side of the family, and then second Christmas Day would be with my dad's side of the family, and but I'm quite sad that because like it's just always fun seeing everyone.
Yeah, it's just a happy time.
Yeah.
And you, Jamie, what are your
Christmas
plans?
music in the car and stuff like that.
I'm gonna be honest. There's not really much changing for me. First Christmas Day, always dinner, gourmet, with my brother and his girlfriend. And the second Christmas day is always brunching with my grandparents. And this year, we're still at the 3-person limit to invite to your home. So, and we're still holding to that. So, nothing's really changing for me.
Yeah, and I heard something about that they might be increasing it to 6 people for Christmas, right? Or
For 6?
Yeah. I've heard.
Oh, then we could do something.
But we're gonna hear it.
We'll
next Thursday, I believe.
Thursday?
Thursday? Not Tuesday?
Might be
Tuesday or Thursday.
It's almost, isn't it interesting that it's almost become a tradition that these announcements are always coming on Tuesday?
But
now we're
Tuesday with
confused by the fact that it's on a Thursday this time.
You guys might be right. I might be
off.
Is it actually on Thursday? Because they can't be.
It could be a Tuesday, but
you might want to Google
in
that.
my head, I have a Thursday, but I could be completely wrong because if it's normal on a Tuesday, it might be on a Tuesday.
Yeah. But
and also, guys,
coronavirus.
We wanted to do a.
That's Googling. Must have sounded like mumble jumble for a lot of people.
I mean,
but we actually want to make a Christmas special, right, guys?
No,
oh, we do.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. I'm using.
No.
No, we wanted to make a Christmas special, right?
Fucking episode, like
sleigh bells just on the background. You're just gonna get annoyed because of them.
That's gonna be nice.
I don't know if Jingle Bells is copyrighted.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, 8 December is the new
Tuesday. So they're sticking to the traditions. That's good.
Yeah, they better stick to
But we should do a Christmas special.
I mean, you could.
Maybe with some of our followers. I don't know. What would you guys think?
I'm a follower. You can.
Yeah, you are a follower, so you might
tell
be
us,
again on the
Did you
podcast.
actually watch our podcast?
Ooh, here we go.
We're gonna beat you if you say no.
So, oh, no. Oh, I might get punched in the head. You guys actually know where I live. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's problematic.
Okay, so
Simon,
I'll be honest with you guys here.
So
I watched the first episode and really nothing more because I'm not really all that into podcasts. I am more about partaking in discussions, and that might sound elitarian or fucking, I don't know.
No, it doesn't. That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, but the thing is, it might sound wrong when I say it like this, but I actually mean it when I say I like talking with people more than listening to them. So my point is, I don't really listen to your guys' podcast, but the first one I did listen to, and I thought, even if it is a genre that I don't like a podcast, I do enjoy listening to it. So maybe I was wrong in not checking out the other episodes, and I'll definitely check this out as well to see if my voice really does sound weird on the recording.
We all sound weird on the recording. It's normal.
Listen, there's a different kind. There's a podcast voice. There is a goblin voice. There is a Palpatine voice, right, Jay?
Let's not do them today.
Yeah, that's not.
There are a lot of voices.
I mean, honestly, I was here for a good discussion, not to talk with fucking wannabe voice actors. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I would just go on like a site called Etsy or something and pay $5.
Just go to Fiverr and just ask for a conversation.
Yeah, just go over Fiverr and literally ask a guy to dub over some fucking movie script in like the Gollum voice for €2 or something. I don't know. That might be fun, but at the same time, it's not wrong for people to do voices, but
will we be releasing Christmas T-shirts?
Ooh, can we?
Oh
no! Is that over the budget? Is that over the budget? Are we overestimating the budget?
Putting up a merch shop isn't really easy. We could.
No, you might need to be monetized for that first, and to be monetized. Hold on. For you to have a merch shop, you need to be monetized first to make any money to fund that merch shop. And then in the second place, you need to be monetized. So you might need to stop swearing for that, Tom.
Oh yeah,
you know what?
I found our new financial advisor. Welcome.
Switch to Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Or let's switch to something else which doesn't give a fuck
you
about
you do have entry costs on Spotify. It costs
guys,
like €25.
We're at 94 subs at the moment, so 6 more to go.
If you like this episode of the Going All podcast, like, subscribe, and if you know something who actually need help in this kind of topic or any information, I don't know, share this episode. I think it's a really extremely important and nice episode. And before we fully close off, Simon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
As our first guest on the Going On podcast.
Again, anytime.
You're our first guest. That's something.
No.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a special one.
A high honor.
And
high honor. Yes.
And high honor for a friend of us.
I think in the future there'll be more guests.
Yeah.
Ooh.
For sure.
Maybe more of the same guests.
Simon,
maybe.
Thank you very much.
I don't know. I'm just suggesting something.
What do you want to talk about then? The next episode, Simon? Cheese or something? Now let's stop the fucking episode. It's
let's stop. We were doing the outro and then we derailed
everyone keep
again.
safe with the holidays and be sure
stay safe
to indeed like the video, subscribe, check us out.
We need to. You know what? Everyone in the comments, please tell everyone to subscribe because we keep forgetting to say it in the middle of the episode and on the beginning of the episode. And I don't think anyone.
Don't forget to join the Discord. We have a Discord server up and running.
Yeah. Definitely, you can talk with us. You can talk with Simon. You can talk
guys,
with Ruben,
if you would like
Jamie.
A Christmas special, please hit that thumbs up. Also subscribe when we already said 3 times in a row now. So
94% of you aren't subscribed yet.
Yes.
So no, it's the meme. Oh no.
Yeah, no.
So Tom, you always do this stuff.
What do we always do? What?
The ending. Come on.
The ending.
Shout us out.
Okay. All right. 3,
Simon with us.
2, 1. Go
in.
All out.